Okay, so now it's time to build out the actual product page. So this is in product screen.js. So before we get started, let's go ahead and create a few imports. And for this, I first want to import a link from React Router DOM. So we'll do React Router DOM, and we are going to use the link attribute here, or the link component. Now we also want to use some bootstrap components. So there will be a few here. So we'll just do React bootstrap, and from React bootstrap we are going to want RO. You will also want this row and column, and we are going to need this image import component. We'll also want list group, and we need button or this button tag. So I don't know why I said it. So button and this card. I guess I can't pronounce my keys. So we have all the imports from React Bootstrap, React Router DOM, and what we need is also that rating components here. So we need that rating component that I said we are going to reuse. So let's just go ahead and import that, and that's going to be from dot uh, component, and then dot component, and then we will just take in rating. Let's parse in rating right here, and we also going to need that products array. So later on we'll use real data, but for now we are just going to import that products array, and then we'll have to find the product by the ID depending on which product we are trying to view. So let's just import that, and that's going to be from dot products, just like that. And then we need the products array. So products, and there we go. So that's it for our imports. And what we'll need to do here is we are going to create this variable called product, and this product is going to be the result of what we find in that products array. So we are going to do products dot find, and the product will just be here, and we'll just do p and then an arrow function, and we are going to look for the product id. So remember, in our array the id value was underscore id, and how we are going to look for this, as we are iterating through this array. What we are going to do is we are going to look for props dot image dot parents, and then we are going to look for the id value. So instead of doing props, what we are going to do is actually destructure this. So we are just going to go through here, and we are just going to do match, and so that's going to make that a little bit cleaner. So we are going to do match dot parents dot id, and we are looking for whatever that id is. So once we find it, then we are going to return back a single product. So we are finding this, how we are getting this id. If we look at app.js, remember we've passed in uh, the id as a parameter right here. So whatever we call that, that's how we find it. So if we call this like primary key or anything like that, that's how we would destructure it, and then find it here. So once we find the actual product, let's see if this worked. So let's just output it by product dot name, and once we save it, when we click on a product, now we are actually finding what the product is. And so so we have a Canon camera, we have our PlayStation, and we are getting this ID. Then we are looking through this array here, and we are finding the product, and then rendering it. So now that we have the product, let's go ahead and actually create the components here. So I want to create a link just to go back to the home page first. And so let's just say in here we'll just do go back, and as the actual link we'll just say to, and we'll just point this back to the home page. So we'll just do forward slash, and then I actually want to add some padding here and some styling. So let's just go ahead and do class name for the styling. Let's just do button, that is the class name, button light. And we also want to add some margin here, so we will do margin my value 3. So that's the margin and the amount. So that's the so let's test that. And if we click on a product, we have our back button that works. So it's actually output the product image now, and just underneath our link, what I want to do is throw in a column, or here, or a row, and then we'll throw in a column what we are going to create one row for this page, and we'll use a column. And in this column I'm going to use the image tag. So I'm going to set the column size really quick. So we'll just do md, and we'll set that to 6, and inside of this column we are just going to use the image tag. So image, and we are going to write that out like that, and we don't need this extra tag. And I don't know why it does that if it doesn't need it, but for the actual source we are just going to use the product image. So we'll just say product dot image. So that gives us the product image. I also want to add some attributes to that. So for the alt text here, we'll just say product dot name, and just to make sure this outputs properly. Let's just say fluid. And once we save that, let's see what we get. So we get the phone, the back button, the camera. Okay, that's working. So next we want to get some product detail here. I'm going to create 2 more columns here, and we'll just do 1. And this is going to be 3. So we'll make that smaller, and we'll just do another one right after that. So technically we are going to have this column, it's going to be 6, so half the screen, and then we are going to get 2 more right here. So we are going to do 3 and 3. So I want to go to this next column right here. So that center column, and what we are going to do is we are going to use this list item right here. So our list group, so we are going to throw in list group here and we will close that out. And in the list group we actually want to pass in a list item here. So we'll actually set the variant, and so we want to set variant to plus this, or this is going to be f plus. And then in the list group we want to create some list items. So we are just going to say list group, and then we are going to do dot item, and once we have that, the first list group item we are going to pass in is going to be the product. So that product name here, so we are just going to throw in product name. So product dot name, and we want to repeat this. So we are going to copy and paste this, and this is still going to be in this list group here. So we are going to paste that, and we will just create some separation. And in here we are just going to throw in the reviews. So we are going to throw in the review component. So we'll just do review, and this is going to be those stars in the actual text that we are passing in. So we need to pass in those parameters. So for the value we are going to throw in the product rating. So we are going to do product dot rating. And we also need to throw in the text, and this is going to be the number of reviews with the uh, actual text of reviews. So we'll just do the backticks. We'll throw in product.num reviews, and then we'll just say reviews. So we have used this before. You should be familiar with this. And then the last thing we are going to throw in is going to be the actual color for the stars. So let's just say color, and this is going to be the hex color which I am just going to paste in. We'll throw that in here, and let's take a look at our page here. It looks like we are missing something. Reviews not defined. Did I not import that? Let's see our ratings. So it's not review, it's rating. So let's just fix that really quick. Something looked off there. So now if I take a look at that, so there we go. We have our product title, we have our rating with the well aligned, that should say rating. And let's also fix that too. So sorry about that. So we'll just say ratings, or actually no, I think that is reviews. Reviews. So now that was correct. So we will leave that, and then we will do one more here, one more change. So we want to throw out the product price. So let's take list group item. It's still in this list group. So that ends right here. So we'll throw one in here. Just want to make sure because that can get confusing. It kind of blends in here, and this is going to be within, we are actually just going to output the price. in text like this. So we are just going to do price and we'll just say product price. So we'll put in the dollar symbol and then we can just do, and that's not a just, this is not part of those backticks like what we saw here. It's just going to be product dot price. Let's confirm that. Okay, so we have the price here and we also want the product description, and we'll take this one more time, and I want to copy and paste this still within the list group. It will just a list item and we'll just say description. So description and then product description, and that should complete this column here. So there we go. That looks pretty good. And if I zoom out, it's going to look a lot better. This is probably what it's going to be on a normal screen. I just need to remove that dollar symbol right there. And one more time. There we go. So that looks pretty good. Let's move on to the third column here. So this is going to be like the product summary. So I will reset the zoom here, and looks like I misspelled variant here. So variant, and that should actually get rid of this border here. So that's what variant does, or variant set to plus does. And let's go to this last column. So in this one, what we are going to do is we are actually going to use the card component here. So we are going to create a card and it's going to seem a little bit nested, but you will see what I am trying to do here. And inside of card we are going to do list group item or list group, and we are going to add a couple of items in here. So we are just going to do list group item, and we also want to add in variant plus here. So let's not forget that this time variant, that's going to be set to plus, and in here we are going to do list group item or dot item. So let's complete that, and inside of list group item we are going to create a row. So this is where it seems a little bit redundant. So we are going to create a row and then we are going to create a column. And inside of this column we are just going to set price. So this is what we are trying to do here. So we have the price and we are going to want to add another column in here. So let's just go ahead and create a column. So we'll just do call, and in here this is where we are going to actually list the price itself. And we are going to use a strong tag, and we are going to do strong and then we'll do product price. So we'll just use the dollar symbol here, and then with the variable product dot price, and this is how we want it to look. We want the price here and or the tag or the title here, and then the actual price. So that's why we nested it the way that we did. So let's go ahead and create another list group item. And then the next one, we are going to check the status of the stock here. So we want to know, so let actually just copy and paste this, and then I will change up a few things. So we'll just say status here, and then for this column we are just going to say in a stock. So let's start like this. So let's output the I don't want that in quotes, so we'll take that out. And if the product is not in stock, we want to actually change this condition. If the product is not in stock, let actually write a condition here and check this. And if just say product, and then we'll just use count in stock. So count in stock here. I could not figure out how to do that. And then we just want to check if this is above 0. Let's go ahead and let's just say in stock. So we have at least one product. We want that to say in a stock. And now if it is not, we'll create our else condition and we are just going to say out of stock. Okay, so let's test it. So it's in stock right now. So let's go find our phone in our product array. So that's going to be in source and product.js, and we'll just say phone. Let's find that really quick. So it's the second product here. So take that out and let's change the stock to 0. So once we change that, now it should say out of stock. If we go to another product, if we go to this camera now, that's in stock. So that's what we are trying to do there. We just want to make sure that that condition works. So let's go to the next column from here. We will close out products.js and we want to create another list group item here. So we are still in the original list group. So I just want to make sure you understand that we started up here in the third column, and in this next list group item we want to create a button here. So we created this, or we imported this button at the top there when we imported our React Bootstrap. Component. So let's go ahead and just style this. So the first thing we need to do is we just want to say button, and we'll just say button block. So we want it to take up the full width, and we also want to set the type. So we'll just make this button here, so the type is set to button, and as the actual text we will just say add to cart. So let's see this. So okay, so we have this add to cart button. The only problem with this is we are not, or the product is not in stock. We need this to change. So I guess I need to go back into my product.js file, and let's just take this iPhone again and uh, what I need to change, we'll just permanently set this to 0. So just so we can use this as an example. So in this case, iPhone is not in stock, right? So we need to change this to disable this button. So we are going to add a disabled attribute. And in here we want to write a condition to actually change this. So let's go down to that last item group here and we'll just say disabled, and we want to write a condition here to actually set the value. So depending on the product stock, so we'll just say product dot count in stock. If this is 0, then disabled is true. So this will change the value. So this will change the value. So right now this product is not clickable and this product is so that's it for styling our product page. So we'll just move on to the next section. Now it's time to actually build out the back end and make this thing work together. So we are going to create an API in the next section.